You know I have ultimate dad bod, right? Like it doesn't look good under here at all. It's like pudgy and weird here. There's the emergence of some man boobs, some moobs here, and no butt whatsoever. I have no butt to speak of. Just two legs just go straight up into my back. Come on now, get a sip. Talking about shelf turds. Talking about shelf turds. Talking about shelf turds. And get yourself a glass. Shelf turds. My name is David, this is Kira, and welcome to Shelf Turds. And tonight we try two ryes that are owned by the same company. They have a near identical mash bill. They're both aged at least 4 years, but one of them is twice the price of the other. And Kira, did you know that there is a conspiracy theory that these are actually the same rye? Just one of them is aged for 2 years longer and is proofed up to 110 proof, and they double the price for that.
I've never heard of anything like that before.
Never?
Never.
You've never heard of a conspiracy before?
Yes, I've heard of many. There's so many. Where should I begin? Area 51, I think is one.
You don't believe that Area 51 exists?
No, it did, but they're saying it didn't exist. No, David. You have it wrong. It's where Area 51 exists, but there's no aliens on there. But there are aliens. Well, you can't prove that there's not aliens there. Just prove that you're unproved. They are little. They are gray. They have big heads. They have no nose. They have a people called Men in Black that come and tear you down when you think that you know about aliens. And they'll be like, I want some yoo-hoo.
Some what?
And then you'll be like, I don't even know what that is, alien, because this is I'm in the country and we just have chocolate milk. Are you ready, David? I'm going to talk to you about something.
I'm ready.
Rittenhouse rye, bottled and bond, is 51% rye, 37% corn, and 12% malted barley.
And it's bottled in bond, so we know that it's been aged for at least 4 years and bottled at 100 proof. MSRP is?
$25.
Wow, I did not think she was going to get that.
I know numbers. Pikesville is 6 year, is obviously aged for 6 years, duh. And it is 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% barley. So just a little tit different than Rittenhouse. But I don't really think that makes that big of a difference, does it?
Well, we're going to find out if it does, right?
All right, I guess so.
Did you say proof on it?
No, no. I don't know what the proof is. 145.
All right, let's get into some Rittenhouse rye.
Bottled and bond rye.
Bottled in bond. I'm not even going to ask about that. All right, you ready?
I'm going to clean my palate. I can't twirl my left hand.
Let me try it. No, I can't do it either. It's impossible.
That's because you're dumb.
I'm getting a little bit of like a light. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon. I almost said light cinnamon, but that's not a thing. Like just a tad of cinnamon. I'm getting rye spice. I'm getting a little bit of ethanol. It's a little hot.
And a tiny tad bit of cherry.
How's that muffin?
Pretty delicious.
What's in that muffin?
Chocolate and banana.
It's a chocolate and banana muffin?
Mm-hmm. I just made them. Our bananas are going bad.
Is your palate cleansed with banana and chocolate?
It is. It's totally clean.
All right, let's go in. Ready? I get cinnamon almost more than I get rye spice. And it's like a burst. It happens and then it's gone.
It's very nutty to me.
Really?
Yeah, and I have no nuts in this. So I must be having it in here. It is really walnut-y.
Are you sure it's not the muffin that you're eating during
There's
this?
no friggin' walnuts in here.
But that is mixing with the Rittenhouse.
Well, then this is a great pair. If you guys would like to have a muffin with a walnut,
She'll share her recipe in the description.
I will. And guess what? There's no walnuts in here.
Didn't you just...
It is really walnut-y. Muffin with a walnut. I'm having a hard time with this one because there's no caramel. There's no like immediate spice that hits me. It's just straight up rye. It's rye and water.
So it almost feels like you've got a couple cubes of ice in something. Mm-hmm. And it's watered down. All right, so what are your notes again?
Walnuts?
You just said a second ago there's no walnuts.
Oh, rye and water. There's a little bit of some sweet fruit at the end, though.
And I struggle with cherry. Mm-hmm. Somewhere towards the end, I'm getting a little bit of cherry. It's not hot. It's a little rough in spots, but it's not hot.
I agree.
Yeah, just a little bit, though. Like, nothing that's really notable. I think we're just struggling, some of us because of banana, muffin, and chocolate, but we're struggling to pick out a lot of intricate notes because it's sort of thin overall. Do you think it would help us to appreciate Rittenhouse more if we learned a little bit more about it?
No.
Oh. Rittenhouse is produced by the Heaven Hill Company. Heaven Hill was founded by several investors shortly after the repeal of Prohibition in 1935.
Oh, so this is a legit. It's not like the mob. It's not a mob. It's not Canadian Club.
That group of fine gentlemen included a prominent distiller named Joseph L. Beam.
Ooh, I think I know him.
I think you do too. And a member of the Shapira family. As the company developed, the five Shapira brothers bought out the other investors. Accounts differ, but some people have said that the Shapira Five made the other investors offers they couldn't refuse.
So, it's totally Godfather. And what else could it be? Name it, go. Fire. Goodfellas. Sopranos. Those motorcycle people. Oh my god, you suck.
Since Heaven Hill's founding, all of the master distillers at Heaven Hill have been members of the Beam family.
Oh, like brothers?
The original master distiller, Joseph L. Beam, was followed by his son, Harry, who was followed by Earl Beam, who was the son of Jim Beam's brother, Park Beam.
This is getting a little bit confusing.
The current master distillers are Parker Beam and his son Craig Beam. Rittenhouse is produced in the tradition of the classic Pennsylvania rye whiskeys, which are believed to have had a spicier and more fruity flavor profile.
Okay, is that where I'm getting my cherry?
On November 7th, 1996.
Good day.
Which was the same year that I graduated high school.
Oh.
What grade were you in?
First grade, probably?
Heaven Hill's production plant was almost completely destroyed by fire. The fire started in an aging warehouse and spread. 90,000 barrels of bourbon were consumed in the fire. A river of fire flowed from the warehouses.
Ooh, that's a conspiracy.
Are you saying that because the Beam folks, all the Beam family were the distillers, and they were working at Heaven Hill, that maybe they started the fire? Is that your conspiracy?
That's a better conspiracy than me. I thought maybe just a lava came out.
One account of the fire, and I quote, "Flames leapt hundreds of feet into the air and lit the sky throughout the night. Witnesses reported seeing whiskey barrels explode and rocket across the sky, leading to numerous accounts of UFO sightings."
They were aliens. There were aliens there.
No, there's a river of fire. One of the rick houses set on fire, and there was a fire.
Yeah, and the river is actually a lava fire set off by the aliens who live underground, and their babies live in the barrels, and the barrels exploded, hence UFO. Dude, this is great. Tell me more.
The number of Pennsylvanians claiming to have been abducted by aliens on November the 7th, 1996 was near triple the normal daily Pennsylvanian level.
Can't argue with that.
The company survived the next several years through the provision of production capacity offered by other local bourbon labels, like Brown-Forman and Jim Beam.
George Foreman?
Because they helped out Heaven Hill until Heaven Hill's purchase and adaptation of the Bernheim distillery was complete. So the other distillers in the area were like, hey, we actually don't want you to go out of business, Heaven Hill.
Aw.
Come use some of our capacity to make your stuff. And that's what happened.
Oh.
You didn't get all that from this?
Oh.
What did you get from all this? From the episode You Only Need 5 Whiskeys, Eric Parham, you two are some of the funniest people in Whiskeytube.
Me? Not him so much.
From the blind tasting with Stag Jr. and 4 Roses Barrel of Strength, our good friend Mike Meyer said, I woke up today hoping for extra turds. My wish was granted. Love you guys.
That is always good when you get extra turds in the day.
How many turds do you typically get in a day?
You know, it's every like 5 days. It's weird.
That is not healthy.
I know, that's why I'm like, yes.
From You Only Need 5 Whiskeys, our good friend Hot Buttery Rolls, Kira's scared voice almost made me pee laugh.
What?
From Maker's Mark and Maker's Mark 46, our good friend Kelsey Dime said, OMG, I just fell out of my chair on the one nut in my face comment.
Happens a lot. It's just weird. I don't know what's going on.
Blind Midwinter Night's Dram, our good friend Richie Z, who you sometimes yell at, which you did in this episode. Kira, your shout out totally made my day, year, maybe. Cheers, Kira and David.
It was probably the best thing all year for you. 2020, am I right?
From the Balcones episode, our good friend Patrick Irish, I just realized after rewatching this vid that you need to name your fans since you clearly have a sense of humor and no doubt your fans do too. I'm thinking we could be the STDs. The Shelf Turd Dudes, of course.
I love
STDs?
STDs. That's a good one. I feel though the majority of everybody has wanted to become a dingleberry.
Dingleberry is the going consensus, Patrick Irish. From You Only Need 5 Whiskeys, Kenneth Grubb said, how did I miss this channel?
How did you? What were you doing?
From the Balcones episode, our good friend Nick Levin said, Kira, quote, if you give a thumbs down, I'll stick that thumb up your ass. Don't threaten me with a good time. From the same episode, Balcones, our good friend Patrick Irish left us an amazing comment that has been our channel banner for some time now, describing Shelf Turds rather well. Wacky, zany, straight up weird, impervious to disgrace. YTF am I only discovering this channel now?
Because we're only for weird things.
From the Balcones episode, Rob Haley says, love the Texas pot still bourbon. Y'all are nuts.
No, I'm not. You're crazy. Maybe go find another bottle to drink.
From The Blind with Stag Jr., Greer Crabtree says, Priest says I have more wine upstairs. Hilarious.
They always do.
It's weird that you know that.
I know.
I think from the same episode, Crafty God 77, who's a good friend of the channel, this video deserves a number A+. I really think you may be the letter #1 new whiskey channel on YouTube. Keep up the good work. I look forward to the next video.
Oh, thank you. Babe,
I'm trying to move the mouse.
I'm
Stop.
namasteing. You can't get in my namaste space.
From The Blind with a Midwinter Night's Dram, JT said, I love watching y'all both. Yeah. JT said,
You like watching us both, huh? What are we doing? All right, I've got one more for you, baby.
do it.
It is Alex Sander. He is the brother of Adam Sandler.
That's Sadler.
Yep, they're brothers. And he says, wow, this is my first video I've watched from you guys. I absolutely love your chemistry. You guys are awesome. F yeah, keep it up. Chris Dominey from the Domino's Pizza Hut. He says, I'm bummed I missed this last night. Gold. The irony that Dr. Stroker wasn't drinking Jack.
Honestly, that's really, if Dr. Stroker had a jack off.
All right, Adriana Rodriguez. Woo, woo, woo. Love your top. Oh, thanks. I know it wasn't this one. It was a different one.
It wasn't this one.
And man, I didn't know about this. We'll be at your next one for sure. Girl, I love your top.
Okay, so moving on now to Pikesville.
Yes, let's get some flavor going on. Rittenhouse is like a dud in the mud. Poop in the butt. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of brown sugar, almost like a bread brown sugar-ish thing.
I wasn't getting brown sugar, but I am getting that bread note you're talking about. I'm giving a little bit because I want you to be able to compare the two because they are night and day.
So much sugar in this one. But like a good sweet. Like I want to be hit with a sweetness. I don't want to be hit with a friggin' dumb butt.
Yeah, so I'm getting the rye spice is more to me in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, I go nostrils.
Okay.
I learned from Fred Minnick. Rye spice for sure, but there's more there. It's really robust. Like I'm not getting the ethanol off the nose that we got over on Rittenhouse, even though this is 10 proof points higher. I'm getting that light bread note you're talking about. I'm getting a lot of sweetness on the nose.
Nutmeg is a ton that I'm getting, and cloves.
I don't know what nutmeg smells like.
Too much time. Too much time in the nose.
It's almost like we scripted. That's the Fred Minnick way. I'm a convert.
I almost feel
I'm
like...
FMing all over the place.
What does FMing mean?
Fred Minnick.
Oh.
I'm Fred Minnicking.
I thought you were effing moms.
I'm mimicking really hard right now.
Not a lavender, but just a really soft smelling kind of a flower around too.
You're getting floral in
I'm
this?
freaking hanging out, dude.
This is, oh God. That is so good. Like
It's good.
the more you come back to it, the better it smells.
This is the Anna Green Gables of Rise.
Why is it?
I'm freaking Anna, and guess what I'm doing? I'm washing laundry, but guess what she's not doing? Washing laundry. She's hanging out at the river.
Are you ready for a taste of what's going on?
Yes, I'm ready for a taste, and I'm a little jealous.
About what?
Because you don't ever smell me like that. You don't ever come in like...
You don't smell like this. You use all natural deodorant that you have to put on with a tongue depressor. It's weird.
True. But do you want me to live long?
That can go either way.
This is really good, but it is very earthy tasting to me.
See, I'm not getting those earthy notes. I'm getting like baking spice and pop rye, like explosion of like these wonderful, spicy, vibrant flavors.
This is really, really good. This is so much more flavorful than the Rittenhouse.
I
There's
think-
something else happening here.
Yeah, there's no way Rittenhouse can even like walk in the shadow of Pikesville.
Why don't you just marry it?
It might.
Just take some of this. Oops, excuse me. This is Rittenhouse talking. It's just a buttery brown sugar rye with some grass and a little bit of dirt in it.
I'm not getting the grass or the dirt in this $50 bottle of rye, but I am getting that butter note, a little bit of oak, but like not overwhelming. Like when I taste Eagle Rare, I get a lot of wood.
I know something that's gonna come to bed with mommy tonight.
To me, like this is a perfect balance of that rye spice, that a little bit of that bread note, a little bit of that wood note in the back, and then that butter note you called out. The more that I sip this, the more that I acclimate to it, that butter note is 100% there. It's beautiful.
This is great.
It's
I
phenomenal.
love butter. So when I was a kid, there'd be sticks of butter just like on the table, right?
Sure.
Back in the 80s,
Sure.
people just leave butter out. And I would just grab the butter stick and I'd take a big chomp out of it, or I'd put my finger in it and dig some out. They had to hide the butter from me. I would love to know more about Pikesville. I don't care about Rittenhouse, but give me some of that Pikeville.
Pikesville Rye holds the title as the last standing Maryland rye brand. Originally produced in Maryland by L. Winand and Brothers Distillery in 1895, the brand went through several changes of ownership. After Majestic Distilling closed, there was still enough whiskey stocks available to keep the brand going until 1982, which is 10 years after they stopped distilling it.
So they just like had all of these barrels.
Tons and
hanging
tons of
out.
barrels until 1982 when the brand was sold to Heaven Hill. After the massive Heaven Hill fire/alien invasion of 1996, the Shapiro boys began to take calls from competitors asking what they could do to help Heaven Hill stay on its feet. Local competitors even offered to help Heaven Hill produce their signature whiskeys at their distilleries.
Oh, community.
Pivotal to being able to produce their products was Heaven Hill's proprietary yeast, which had been handed down for generations and, unfortunately, had been kept in the distillery that had just been Independence Day'd.
Oh.
In the wake of the fire, they rented a bucket lift to see if they could locate the 5th floor yeast refrigerator.
Did they find it?
The distiller supervisor at the time said, when we found the refrigerator and we opened the refrigerator door, we couldn't believe it. There was the yeast and it was still cold.
Ah, lucky day.
As part of Heaven Hill's recovery, the Shapiro boys weighed the benefits of building a new distillery versus buying an existing plant. In 1999, the Shapiro brothers purchased the Bernheim distillery, thanks in large part to the Shapiros crafting up another offer you can't refuse.
Ooh, they're scary. This is like Die Hard scary.
Okay, so we've tasted both. We've learned a bit about both. Now, let's be fair to Rittenhouse. Let's circle back to Rittenhouse.
Okay.
Try it again. Taste them side by side.
All right.
So back to Rittenhouse. I like the smell, but the smell sort of lacks depth of character.
Yeah, so it's strong in my friggin' face.
Is it the taste in your face?
Someone wants to just punch me in the face. They're like, here, take a whiff of smell my fingers.
It's not a strong ethanol smell, but it's got a little bit of a punch that you're not crazy about, and it's thinner.
It is, and you know what? When you smell the Pikesville right next to it, smell it.
Sure.
The Pikesville does still have an ethanol smell, but it is almost a fruit punch, like you just kind of said.
I was just about to say it's much, much sweeter. It has a very sweet smell right off the nose.
Yeah.
And whatever ethanol is there is almost really well balanced with the sweetness.
Yeah, I agree. David, you're friggin' killing it.
I'm mimicking. I'm Fred mimicking. Rittenhouse. This comparison, though, has really opened up my eyes to the differences, because I used to think that they were somewhat comparable, but I've never really gone back and forth with them.
It's comparable. Yeah, it's not too great, and it has like a almost like an artificial sweetener taste to it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a Sweet and Low or something. Like I'm drinking a Diet Coke, and I'm just not fully satisfied.
If you have these on your shelf, they say something about you. Kira is gonna let us know.
All right. I look at Rittenhouse, I kind of think you're cheap. It's like a sticker. Why do you want a sticker? And it's like a plastic top. That's weird, right? Pikesville looks classy and Western. It's flat on the top and round in the bottom, and it's got that little cork pop there. So I'm gonna tell you guys it's Pikesville.
Pikesville is the winner of Sex Appeal of the Bottle. Now, if you leave us a comment, you let us know why you like one over the other, we may feature you and your comment in an upcoming episode. I can hear the music. We're being played off. Thank you for joining us on Shelf Turds. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Here come our patrons. This is what I like to call friends with benefits. Talking about patrons. Talking about patrons. I'm talking about you taking a shot of Fireball when you hear your name. Chris Dominey, the Bubblebath Bourbon, the Whiskey Tornado, Mike Meyer, Dennis Weedman, Brendan Moir, the DC, Mike 1954, Badger Jeff, Tim Evans, Shelf Turds band manager Will Henderson, Uncle Buck, Old Man Joe, Stanley Wagner Jr., Miss Lady Luck herself, Sherry G, The Sexy Sandwich, Nick Loving, Mr. Late Night, Tommy D, the only living drummer from the band Spinal Tap, Cheech Artolino, and Mr. Money, Dave Goldman. Now, speaking of money, I got two very, very generous, very juicy turds I'm about to tell you about. Here they come. Aaron Blizzard and Nick the Greek. Oh Lord, so much money, so much generosity, and if you didn't hear your name on this list, join Patreon and give us the money. I will give you things, sometimes, not all the time, but but you could be entered for drawings. You will see deleted scenes and bonus footage, and you will get your sweet-ass name into this mother-kicking song. Plus, I will rub your donation, your Patreon money, all over my body. You don't want me to rub it on my body? Kira will rub your money on her husband's body. Your support allows us to keep drinking.